What's up guys, it's Zach Perner here, and today I'm going to show you guys the most common form mistakes I see in the gym. So I'm going to run you through 10 exercises that I often see people do either incorrectly or we could just fix it, do it a little bit better. But guys, before we get started, I want to let you know that my new year, new body 12-week transformation is now live. So guys, link is in the description here. It is a 12-week challenge. There are a bunch of prizes up for grabs, even for the top 25 transformations. So I don't want to talk too much about it because I don't want to spam my own video here. But with that being said, we're going to get into it and start with deadlifts. So guys, there's a few common mistakes when it comes to deadlifts I see. I saw this the other day actually. One is arching the hell out of your back like this. Terrible for your spine. Second is keeping your back too straight. And so they're trying to like squat at the knees and then come down here and with a rounded, oh my God, that's back breaking. So what you got to think about guys is squeeze your shoulder blades back and don't be afraid to come forward. Keep your spine neutral and then bend at the knees down. Drive through. So you want to keep your spine as neutral as possible. Don't do this. And don't over arch it like that. And don't be afraid to just come forward so that your shoulders are over the bar. They're not like that. So again, with dumbbell curls, people go way too heavy and they swing way too much. So this is what they do. They come from here, they swing it back, and then they get a bit of momentum and use the shoulder. So it looks like this. And really, it's a lot of wasted movement because for one, the front delt is just raising it like that. And from back here, there's not a lot of tension on my bicep right now. So what you want to do is slow the whole thing down. Pause, squeeze up and stop the momentum there. Slowly lower it, squeeze up. Control the negative and stop the momentum. Don't come back, stop. With close grip bench press, people think you really need to go like the closer the better, and it's just not the case. I used to do this back in the day, and really close grip, it's just gonna hurt your wrist. So all you need is a grip that's just like either shoulder width or a little bit closer. So people will grab here and think close grip, great, but that's gonna snap your wrists up. So I like to grab just basically where it's smooth. So here, the elbows drop down perfectly in line, stretch the triceps, squeeze up from the tris. Shoulders back, squeeze up through the triceps. And I like to go thumbless grip, but if you want to be safe, just grab the bar like normally. So with kickbacks, very familiar tricep exercise. Most people are just going to go from here and then swing, and they're swinging all day long. Now for one, that's bad. Even if you want to do the form 100% correct, you have to stop here, squeeze up, pause at the squeeze, go slow down. But it's a very wasted movement. It's not very efficient because it's only really difficult from there to there. From here, it's a very wasted movement. So you're not getting a lot of bang for your buck. It's only really a partial kind of movement. So I don't really like to do these altogether. I would get rid of it from your plan and instead opt for something like a single arm tricep extension on a cable where the tension is going to be evenly spread throughout the whole way. It's not just a wasted motion here. You'll get much more out of it. Side raises are probably the worst performed exercise that I've seen in the gym, purely because there's so many different ways of doing them. But one common thing I see people do is focus too much on just trying to get the dumbbell up. So their wrists are going to come above their elbows like that, and they're just trying to get the dumbbells up. Not a lot of side delt activation, and if anything, it's just uncomfortable. So what you want to focus on is keep your elbows above the wrist as much as you can. So you're pulling from your elbows, you're not pulling from your hands like this. There, the tension's on my shoulder. Here, it's not. So keep it like that, and really don't swing with these as much as you can, guys. Very easy to swing like that. Stop here, that'll stop you from swinging. Engage your shoulder, squeeze from the elbow, and pause at the top. Trouble with these is that you're much stronger in the beginning, so you could go from here to here with a 20 kilo, but then from there to there with a 7. So there's a bit of a mismatch there, so if you want, perform them on the cables. Cable side raise, great. But otherwise, if you're gonna use dumbbells, either perform partials or just take it very slow. So a common thing I see with dumbbells is limited range of motion for one, and two, too much lockout. So the tension's coming off the chest. So what I mean by that is this. So first they'll start here and they'll come up and they'll rest. So right now, the tension's on my joints. It's on my triceps as well. Not a lot on my chest. Instead, you want to stop about there. Come as low as you can down. Squeeze up with the chest. So we're not taking it off the chest. Keep it on. Slow, squeeze up. Preacher curls, it's a funny one. Some people can do them fine, no worries. Other people will do this. Where here, for one, that grip might not be comfortable in you. For me, it's not, because I can't keep my elbows on the pad like that. They want to flare out like this. And that causes obstruction in your range, because they won't go all the way down to full extension because it hurts. And then they'll come to here. So that's their bottom range. And then they'll rest at the top like this. So for me, I can chill here all day. No tension on the biceps. So it's just that they end up doing this and swinging. So what you want to do instead is, I like to use these with a dumbbell, because instead of like being like this, and that's my range is there, you can put your whole arm on the pad, flexibility of the wrist, fully stretch, squeeze up. So I'll show you with dumbbells. Here, arm on the pad, I can come all the way down like that, that's comfortable, and squeezing up. Now I'm not coming all the way up like this and resting. Stop here where it's still like peak contraction. Slow. Much prefer to do it with dumbbells instead. So with calves, I'm not one to talk because I've got absolute chicken legs, but I still understand them. So one thing I see people do a lot is this. Absolute snapping of their foot position to try to target different parts of the calf. So that's one thing. They'll be like this, and then this to try to hit different areas, when really, keep it so it's comfortable, and then don't swing. So don't use momentum. Pause for about 1 to 2 seconds, stretch, and then squeeze up. So for example, if you want to hit this part of your calf, just push through the ball of your foot, like just your toe there, your big toe. Otherwise, if you want to hit the outer head, you can try push through like the outside of your foot, but you don't need to really mess around snapping your feet doing calves like this. Not a thing. Keep it controlled, stretch, squeeze, control. So shrugs is probably the funniest one that most people get wrong, and it's because one, they go too heavy, and two, they do it too quick. So generally what they do is this. It's a chicken movement. It's just not enough tension. What you want to do is feel the stretch for about a second, squeeze up, and you can also come back a little bit. So I like to come up and back, like a diagonal. This is even still probably a little bit too heavy, but stretch for about 1 to 2 seconds, squeeze up, 1 to 2 seconds. Control it. So with lat pull down, I used to do this when I was younger too. I used to think the wider the grip, the more lats, the wider you get. So makes sense kind of, but it's just not really how it works. So what people do is they go super wide, and then of course they go too heavy, so they end up swinging it really hard. So it ends up being like this. Now from there, very limited range. Now my lats aren't squeezing very hard. From there to there, it's not a lot. So for your lats to be squeezing as hard and getting the most out of them, they need to be as short as possible. By that I mean, right now my lats are at their shortest. My grip is just wider than shoulder width, or shoulder width. So a close grip is actually quite good for lats. Full stretch, squeeze down. Now I'm bringing the bar in front of me, my elbows are in front. If I want to hit more upper back, I can kind of like arch my back and pull back more. So elbows in this angle, but for lats, elbows in front and I squeeze down. So guys, that is it for this video. Just a little quick 10 tips on things you can fix, take home messages. Guys, if you enjoyed that, hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel already and comment something great. Hafey hasn't said a word this whole video. Hafey, show me your reflection. What should they comment? Something great? Comment Hafey has the biggest legs I've ever seen on the planet. But guys, that is it for me, and you definitely know what to do. Stay massive. Slide into your DMs in the PM and the AM. Then I slide into your feelings when you see just what I'm saying.